Hello, honey. Hi, how are you?
Merry Christmas.
Yes, Merry Christmas to you too. So, how are you feeling?
I have the day off, so I'm pretty well rested and excited for the Cancer full moon.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I guess we're gonna get right into that. So let's go ahead and ring the meditation singing bell and get started.
Sounds good.
All right. So, um, I guess do you want to go ahead and get straight into it?
Let's do it.
Okay. All right.
So the full moon in Cancer at 4 degrees is occurring at 4:33 p.m. on the West Coast today and 7:33 p.m. on the East Coast. It is in Cancer, which is the ruling sign. The moon rules Cancer. So, Cancer is all about the home, the mother, nurturing. It rules the breast and stomach. It's a very sentimental energy. Of course, it's right here at the holidays. We're between Christmas and New Year's, so a lot of family gatherings, I'm sure. Um, Cancer is the crab, and it's weird how the ancient people that came up with these symbols and signs call things the way they are because the crab itself will smell its food before it eats it. A lot of Cancerian people do the same thing. They have a sideways motion where Cancerian people, if you're walking with your Cancerian friend down the sidewalk and they keep bumping into you, it's because they do have a sideways motion. And, you know, Cancers, because of their sentimentality, have a hard time letting go of things like those claw pinchers of the crab. So, it's a cardinal water sign. It's considered to be pretty intuitive. Um, the part of Cancer that gets forgotten a lot is its tenacity. So even though Cancers are seen as soft and maternal or nurturing people, they are tenacious. And if they do get their mind on something, uh, they are relentless about letting it go. So yours truly has a Cancer moon, and my Venus is within a degree of this full moon. And if I'm any indication of some of the things that might be going on with the full moon, it would be family orientated things. Um, Cancers tend to be somewhat maudlin if they, reflect too much on family history or memories, that kind of thing. I can tell you I've been really lazy. I don't know if this energy is just sort of exhausted me, but I just haven't been really feeling like doing a whole lot, been laying low. Um, so, anyway, Cancer is like the parent, the healer. It can be the crybaby. Cancers can cry at a sad commercial. So, what we have to be very careful about is not being maudlin, not taking that sentimentality to a point where it, brings your energy down. Um, the crystals under the rulership of Cancer are like ruby and emerald, moonstone, uh, chrysoprase, amber, And, it's a good time to put your crystals out under the full moon for to get them re-energized. Um, Cancers do hold their emotions in their stomach and often have trouble with indigestion or stomach problems. So some of the herbs that help with stomach discomfort are ginger, yucca, peppermint, um, fennel seeds, licorice root, cloves. And being a Cancerian moon with Venus conjunct, I can tell you that my stomach is my gauge for my emotional well being. I know that if my stomach is upset, I need to reflect on what emotion am I um, giving too much energy to the point where it's making me physically uncomfortable. Sometimes you can undo that and figure it out, and sometimes you just have to ride through it. So, Cancer full moon here at the end of the year is also Chiron is going direct today. So, Chiron is associated with that parent sort of boundary kind of energy and healing. So we've got Mars doing some, we have Mars making a trine over to Neptune during this full moon. And that can be very much like Mars and Neptune is not a good energy to like start any kind of debate within your family. When people get together and sometimes there's disgruntled feelings or people have different views and they get into some kind of debate. It doesn't bode well under Mars, Neptune. Neptune, does make things hazy and clouded. So that's kind of a frustrating energy right there during the full moon. The full moon itself brings a more intensified emotional body. It raises the levels of water. So hopefully everyone who's tuning in is safe from any kind of floodwaters or that kind of issue, because Mars trine Neptune would also mean aggressive waters or higher water levels in different areas. So it's also, the full moon is making a positive aspect to Jupiter and Taurus. It's a sextile, it's 60 degrees apart. That is an opportunity to make our homes more comfortable. Jupiter expands, so you may be considering moving to a bigger home or doing something within the confines of your home to give you more space. It's also a good time to review your resources and finances. Um, this kind of mother moon is good in assisting with uh, overcoming any barriers on that front. So, of course, it's sort of doesn't make much sense to say sit here and with the full moon in Cancer make goals for your new year, because we're all going to do that anyway with it being close to New Year's Eve. Um, but that is the energy of, do you have goals in the new year for your home, for your family? And this is a really good time. It's enhanced by a trine to Saturn, which brings intuitive aspirations. You could even have epiphanies. This is a very well, all the time is good to meditate, but this is a really good time to meditate under these aspects, because 2024 will be historic astrologically in a lot of the transits and progressions that we're going to be experiencing. And you may find tears flow more easily during this time. So, tears are very cleansing. They release old emotional guck. And there is a chemical in tears that also reduces stress. So, if you're feeling a little emotional under the full moon, with aspects to Mars, Neptune, Saturn, Chiron going direct, Mercury will be going direct here in a couple of days on New Year's Day. That's a lot of shifts of energy, and just do your best to go with the flow on that. If you feel overwhelmed or you want some time alone, this would be completely normal and completely normal. So respect whatever it is that you need to do for yourself, for your own healing, regardless of what expectations other family members may have of you. And that's a big message of the full moon is boundaries, setting our boundaries, making healthy boundaries and honoring those. um, I've done a couple of readings for just close friends here over the holidays when we've gotten together, and there seems to be um, a repeat in what me saying, get more comfortable saying no. You don't have to people please and do everything everyone asks you to just because they ask you to. And it's very important that you honor your own boundaries and sense of well being and not feel like you have to compromise that to make other people happy. And that's a lot of what happens in families is that bully aspect, where there's always a more aggressive person in the family that thinks they're going to get everybody on the same page. And that's probably not the reality of human nature. So, in looking forward to 2024, it begins with Mercury in Sagittarius stationing direct on New Year's Day, and it will go into Capricorn mid January, where it will be holding hands with Mars, which has moved into Capricorn. Mercury, Mars, and Capricorn is hard work. So, your aspirations that you may feel during this week or so about home and goals will be correlated with mid January when your work goals and finances can line up with the same idea. Because obviously, you need to have resources to do anything with a home, whether it's buy, sell, or renovate. And Mars, Mercury, and Capricorn is very energized for working a lot. And working a lot should often uh, process into money in the bank, and getting those resources for your aspirations and goals for your home. So then we have, let's see, we have the sun moving into Aquarius mid January. That is unconventional systems of communication and inventions. And this has to do with artificial intelligence, the internet, anything to do with software, computers, um, possibly communications with extraterrestrials or outer space. That movie Contact comes to my mind, where they had radios set up to try and take in radio waves from outer space to communicate with other species. 2024 will be very intensified with how artificial intelligence, what our moral values are with that, with Pluto touching back into Aquarius before it goes retrograde briefly into Capricorn. And by November of 2024, Pluto will be firmly in Aquarius till like 2043. And this is, an evolutionary age of technology. And Pluto is about our moral values. So, how do you feel morally about computers taking your job? This could instigate some pushback. Um, Again, with people setting healthy boundaries, they want that work life balance, but they don't want a computer to take over their work. So there's a fine line there between what is progress that moves humanity forward with the help of computers, and then at what point it becomes a detriment. And, we don't want to all be sitting on the sidelines like a zombie, not using our gifts. So a big wave of humanitarian awareness is upon us with 2024. Um, if you put people out of work and they can't make their way, you end up with large numbers of people in need. And that's not human nature. Human nature is creative and inventive and productive. So somehow in this coming wave of humanitarian change, we have to find the balance between existing with the technology that we've created, but not having it eliminate our usefulness. Um,
So, do you feel that there's going to be like a new job for people to, I guess, create these boundaries in regards to how to ethically incorporate or use AI technology? Because right now it's kind of like a free for all.
right.
And there are like kind of like cybersecurity. Like, is there anything that's policing stuff on the internet? Yeah, because there's a lot of like misinformation also out there. So, um,
Well, I think that's what the debate on moral values will be surrounding.
mhm,
And I don't remember the man's name. I would have to Google it. But the man who began the whole movement of artificial intelligence has now withdrawn as CEO of that company he created because of his concerns morally of the effect on humanity.
mhm,
So there's already an awareness of its effect. And you're right, it is a free for all. And I think that's what 2024 will somewhat create, that debate with people of, how much of a good thing is a bad thing.
mhm,
Too much of a good thing isn't always a good thing. Um, there's so many angles to Pluto and Aquarius because we've been through these years of Pluto and Capricorn, and the conjunctions with Capricorn. One of the most disturbing things that 2020 brought to my attention was when that Dr. Burke stood in a news conference and sort of like in awe, was like how easy it was to control large groups of people. And Pluto and Aquarius is about your freedom. When I look back at the last time Pluto was in Aquarius, it was between 1778 and 1798. This was the age of revolution. This is when the um, North American colonies went into the war revolution or war of independence with Great Britain. So people don't want to feel oppressed by their government. Pluto in Capricorn has been all about government authority. So as we move into Pluto and Aquarius, people don't want an oppressive government. They want their freedom. They want to be able to express their individuality. And when you look at some of the things that are now licensed and rules that have developed, just like a driver's license, these are all taxes that we pay for things that we should just automatically be free to do. course, you're not free to go and kill somebody with a car, but we're talking about within reason, and if you have epileptic seizures, you probably shouldn't be driving a car. But my point is that we've been through over a decade of authority from the government, and the
Mhm.
government taking over more parts of our lives. I used to always say it was government in our living room. And I think as we see Pluto move more firmly into Aquarius, and especially in April, there's the uh, Jupiter Uranus conjunction. April 2024 will tell us a lot about the direction we're heading in, because the Taurus Jupiter Uranus conjunction, it will be the first eclipse of the year. If you compare it to 2011, that's when the stock market crashed, that's when the real estate bubble bust. There's already been talk about a correction in the real estate market. Um, I've heard realtors pining, I guess, about 2 years about how low the inventory are, that there are a lot more buyers than there are homes to market. And I don't know around you or some of our viewers, but around here, it just seems like these 300 unit apartment complexes just get built up on every corner. And those rents are 17, 18, $2,000 a month, which many times is far beyond what a mortgage payment would be.
Mhm.
So, there's been that trend. Um, there was the French Revolution in 1789. That was France had like 5 or 6 revolutions. So to say that was any one revolution is not really accurate, but it has to do with people wanting their freedom and pushing back against government as the authority in their life. We're going to see a lot of that, and there will be probably pockets all around the world that will be more Mars driven than others. Um, Probably the larger cities will have more um, disruption than anything. And there was a Haitian revolution during that same time in the 1790s. And ironically, in 1781 is when the planet Uranus was discovered. So, all of these little connections that connect us back to, Uranus is evolution and revolution. Pluto is destruction to rebuild. So you have all of these structures that we have become dependent upon, or we perceive we're dependent upon them, crumbling. And it's only natural for people to have a sense of fear about, well, what do I do now? But the promise of Pluto, and I can't reiterate it enough, and I probably say it every time we talk about Pluto, the promise of Pluto is that which it tears down will always be built back better. And part of our mission, I think, as human beings going through this and the human experience, is to um, know that in our spirit, that you have to, it's just like cleaning out a house or a closet. You have to pull everything out and make this huge mess and tear it down before you can efficiently reorganize it and get it back better. And I think our society is going to be experiencing that, where things that no longer serve you will leave your life, people, places, things. There's a trend, a huge trend, where people are looking for more meaningful work. It's not going to be okay to just be like a zombie in your life and punch a clock, show up. People want meaning. That's Pluto in Aquarius. They want to feel like they're affecting humanity and bringing service to a community. As government agencies disassemble to figure out what's going to be reassembled, it'll come down to your local communities, and it's so funny, that saying, the more things change, the more they stay the same. And one of my messages, because some of this information for 2024 is somewhat bleak when you compare it to prior times in our society. It's about financial disruption, war, um, people.
There was a thing. I think there's a movie coming out called Civil War. Did you see that?
Yeah, I think it's on Netflix, maybe.
I don't know. I was like, are they already planning for this crap? To get us prepared? Like, I don't understand.
Well, and the message besides um, knowing your faith and spirituality and knowing that there's something greater than all of us that has to do with creation, it really tests our fortitude. Fear is anger. It's a expression of anger and fear all wrapped in together, and and then you've got the ego playing in there. So any kind of self-talk that you catch yourself in fearing any of this, and what I've tried to um, practice doing every time I feel fear about, the banking system, or will there be this or that available, is number one, at the essence of your spirit, intuitively, you always have what you need. Might not always be what you want, but you always have what you need. That's just quantum physics. That's just, it's only our perception of lack that creates lack in our life. And another part of 2024 and these shifts is the shifts of consciousness, right? We've been in this matrix 3D kind of existence that is false. And what we all as individuals have to constantly do, and through meditation is a good way to accomplish this, is be ready for the higher consciousness and to be ready to be leaders into a new humanity of peace and love and care for each other. Um, for many years, I've seen it explained as the shift of the Earth's axis from a masculine polarity to a feminine polarity. And these 20 years or decades since the millennium have been that shift into a more feminine polarity. This Cancer moon is the Cancer Capricorn axis. Capricorn is, that earth, um, hard energy about working. Cancer is the water, family, mother. So those two polarities um, play off of each other, and where this full moon triggers us into the new year on that softer side of nurturing each other, being there to help one another. If you have something your neighbor needs, you don't worry about how you're going to get it. Your neighbor needs it, you give it to them. A trend I've been seeing are the ways to have a water supply, and I think ultimately there's going to be some rough spots, but it'll bring us all closer together, um, because when you're in need or not sure what's going to go on, it's only natural. You remember after 9/11 how nice everybody was to each other? It's
Mm-hmm.
like tragedy, unfortunately, brings out this real polite kind of giving nature in people. And then once everybody feels stable and secure again, they go back to their, sort of zombie existence. And I think what 2024 opens up is a consciousness of always feeling connected. You're never alone. Um, that's only a perception in our mind. It's our ego, the thing that brings the humanness to the body and the experience is the ego. So if you're becoming more evolved and spiritual, you have less ego. And the ego will play really mean games on your head to keep from dying or having an ego death. So it's going to be really interesting to see how all of that evolves on a um, neighborhood to neighborhood level, how the government is restructured, how the banking industry is restructured, and that book that I refer to that I've not been able to dig out, um, Megatrends 2000. I mean, it says we'll actually revert back to the barter system. So, interesting times, very, depending on how you want to perceive it. I personally like seeing a lot of the structures come crumbling down because I don't think they've been healthy structures for us as people individually or as groups in, as a humanity.
Did
Uh,
you hear about the talks of moving the White House?
there's been talk about that. Yeah,
Just saying.
it's interesting. If you look at the history of the District of Columbia, that in of itself is a very effed up history,
Hmm.
right? So for it to be any kind of central governing place just is all kinds of wrong. And let's see, the last time we had Jupiter and Taurus meet up with Uranus, we had that's when Osama bin Laden was killed. It was in 2011. There was a machine or vehicle launched to Mars, and there was all this drum rattling with Japan and nuclear disaster. So if you start hearing some of these scare events, I guess, you know, just remember that humankind has survived hundreds of centuries under these same kinds of energies. Every generation has worried about stock market crash. Every generation has worried about nuclear war. And that's what I mean about the more things change, the more they stay the same. There's some manipulation in society that tries to scare us into submission. And I think the exciting part of Pluto going into Aquarius is we're not going to submit into fear anymore. We want to be free. Uranus is about your freedom and your individuality and to express yourself individually. A lot of creativity. Um, you're starting to see more and more pushback about these medical, um, what do you want to call them? Medical guidelines, or, we've learned that the CDC doesn't necessarily know what they're talking about. And there's a whole lot of money behind pharmaceutical companies manipulating uh, what the medical community should do. And there should be a lot of medical advances with Pluto and Aquarius. The I think we're going to see, I think the thing that is going to bring the most concern is really weather patterns because um, Uranus Jupiter in Taurus conjunct is earthquakes, volcanoes erupting, tornadoes. But what I would remind everyone is we've been going through that. So we've been seeing volcanoes that haven't erupted in 100 years erupt. We've been seeing floodplains that haven't flooded in 100 years flood. So this is not necessarily new, but you don't want to be in one of those areas that suffers a weather disaster. So, what all we can do is sort of plan to be prepared for, being without electricity for a week. I remember one of the last bad hurricanes through here. I was without power for 7 days. That got old. I had my little Girl Scout camp stove and propane, and after 2 days of using the camp stove, it was enough. And by 7 days, we were all in this area just ready to be done. So, but it doesn't mean you can't do it. And it doesn't mean that, I mean, that time in this area when that happened, neighbors were out in the street, had their lawn chairs out in yards. I mean, I met neighbors I'd never met before. People would share things if they didn't have eggs or coffee or something. And so, when we talk about these shifts and changes, it's not all bad. I mean, if it gets you out meeting your neighbors and getting to know your community, that is the beginning of rebuilding a new kind of humanitarian structure, because the Capricorn in Pluto in Capricorn structure is authority from the top down. So with Pluto disassembling that, and we start from the ground, that means it comes out of our communities. It comes out of knowing your neighbor. It comes out of, you know, being able to help locally. Um, so that's a good thing. It's different. I think depending on how flexible a person is about change is probably how they're going to weather 2024. If practice at being more flexible and open to change, the less torturous it will be for you. Um, so definitely the first part of 2024 will bring intensified feelings of freedom and independence and new beginnings. And right now, the end of the year, first of the year would be the time to, search your soul for what are those goals? Where do you want to be this time at the end of 2024? So I don't know if we'll see what I hope we see or not, and that would be in terms of some public display of the crimes against humanity that have occurred under our nose, or what do they call it? The walk of shame. You see crooked bankers and
Didn't
politicians.
they release a list and then
Well,
for
I've heard,
the Jeffrey Epstein?
yeah, I've heard different things about the list.
Hmm.
I don't know that it's been officially released. Have you noticed there's been a lot more about child trafficking on TV? There have
Yeah.
been like groups of people arrested, and that's very Mars Neptune. Any kind of sexual deviant kind of behavior, um, and that's where I just keep wondering how long people will accept some of these um, horrible practices, from our elite, or who we think are smarter and wiser to lead us. I think there's going to be a new breed of leaders that we see. Um, Certainly, like guys from special operations and Marine SEALs, who have been on the boots on the ground in these different areas with tunnels and actually rescuing children. I would think we would see more of them come forward with their stories. I've actually met one recently through my work who is just an amazing person who has really seen things that none of us want to see or want to believe even exist. So, the other part of Mercury Neptune that is unfortunate is people won't believe things. You know, you can show people, certain people anyway, you can show them things, prove it. And if they have it in their mind that they just cannot handle that that really goes on or um, happens, there is no convincing them. And, you know, there's certain structures like, you know, people would never believe leaders would be capable of some of the stuff they're capable of. And you'll never convince someone in that mindset differently. But, you know, I do believe that we're here somewhat as trumpeters to speak the truth. And when you have um, Jupiter is a Sagittarius kind of energy, we have other Sagittarius placements. I mean, that is all about seeking the truth. You know, we just want to know what's real and what's the truth. Well, I think to get to that, we have to let a lot of things crumble and and disassemble. So I guess, you know, the main message for 2024 is it's going to be a hell of a ride. To always keep your wits about you, that
Mhm.
every generation before you has gone through similar scares, concerns. This is nothing new. It's new for us, but it's only to get to a higher consciousness, a more meaningful, authentic life, right? Taurus is a lot about agriculture and our food. We've talked about this before, you know, uncovering the manipulation of food chains and, you know, where we've believed certain things have been healthy or organic and they're not. It's just a moneymaker. So I think that's probably one of the hardest things on a day to day basis, really, is knowing what is healthy for you, what is legitimate. Um, so, yeah, our money, our food, our home, these are all things being changed. And so the way you surf that kind of energy is to only hold the highest vision in your mind's eye of how you want your money, your home, and your food to be. And that's how you do it, I think. You know, my teacher used to always say, a fool follows the stars, a wise man rules their stars. And the way we rule these kinds of energies would be to keep in our mind's eye the highest vibration of everything that we want in the light, you know, and at our highest good. Don't let yourself fall into the fear mongering or you know, the fear, because there's certainly plenty of outlets out there that will try to scare the heck out of you. And especially if, you know, if you're alone or, you know, don't have a community of people um, that are like minded, it really is a challenge to keep your wits and a positive attitude. So, um, you know, I might deliver some kind of challenging information, but hopefully with the encouragement that, you know, it's all within each individual to transcend the negativity, you know, cut off the TV news, right? If you have doomsday friends and or people that are just always ragging at something, just limit your exposure. You know, just try to keep around positive, healthy vibrations. And, you know, this certainly isn't the energy to try to tell anybody anything. The Mars Neptune energy is not where you're not gonna win anybody over under that energy, right? So to a certain degree, this is kind of a solo kind of spiritual journey that we're on. And my best advice is to just keep that vision of where you want to be and how you want to be, and in the highest light, and set those boundaries so that, there's certain people you meet in life that they love you when you're down or going through something uncomfortable, but when you're on an upswing and doing well, they're nowhere around. There's people who feed on that kind of negative um, drumbeat. And so it's up to us to have those boundaries, that we limit how much negativity we allow into our uh, own vibration, and to have our practices of meditation and aligning our chakras and trying to eat the best nourishment that we can, um, for what we know, and recognize that all of this is in turmoil and in change. And we chose to be here at this time. In astrology, the belief is that you choose who you're born to and when you're born. So these are really exciting times to be living when you're the least bit spiritual or metaphysical, because we're going to see quantum physics firsthand. We're going to see, the flying car. We're going to see the robotics of, how everything can be done differently. We'll see our money change and how we exchange money change. Um, I get frustrated with all of the talking heads on news outlets who pontificate like they really know something, and they really are just making it all up. They don't know anything. It's so frustrating, because there's a lot of people sitting there just taking it in like it is the word of the gospel. And so I think part of our job is to stay grounded within our own spiritual beliefs and knowledge, and know that these are extraordinary and historic times that we're living in, that we chose to be here, and to find that purpose that we fit. And that's all about, getting down to your authentic self, um, and pursuing it without anyone trying to tell you you're crazy or do something differently. A whole lot of this energy is setting boundaries, healthy boundaries, and trusting your own intuition. And that, Cancer is very intuitive, and you could probably even glean a lot of your own personal journey by just being quiet with yourself in meditation and allowing the information to download. So it's really themes of, individuality and and technology. I was seeing something yesterday. It was some kind of little news show with different stories, and one of the segments was a young girl. I thought, and I'm sure this art has been done before, but I guess my point of these transits in Uranus and Taurus, Taurus is ruled by Venus. That brings in all of the elements of music and art and expression and creativity. And that's where our healing comes is, if you're feeling forlorn or down, or like things aren't coming the way you thought, get creative. Get one of those adult coloring books and just start coloring. Get out of your head. Go help someone else. It's another good way of getting yourself out of your funk is, go help somebody else that needs something, and get out of your own head thinking about yourself. But this was a type of art. It was so interesting. It was on canvas, She used acrylics, she used yarn, she used shells and beans and all these different organic matters to create her picture. And she would have these pictures of just like a head and them screaming, you know, in the mouth, the teeth, and you could see their tonsils and their tongue. And the way she sat there and described her inspiration for her portraits and what she was doing, it's so Uranian. You know, that's just an individual expression, someone's freedom to express how they feel using art. And I think that's where our healing comes is artistic expression.
Well, that sounds beautiful.
We just have to
Yeah.
be willing to let go of things that have been one way a long time and not be fearful that if we let them go, that somehow we're worse off. We're letting them go to be better off.
Mhm. No, I mean that sounds good. So what you're saying is make sure you go to Michael's or
Hobby Lobby,
Hobby Lobby or
get you some art supplies and be prepared. And, um, you know, on that whole thing about Mars, you know, and when we, in 2011, we launched um, it was called Curiosity. I don't know what you would call it. It wasn't really a ship or a rocket. It was some kind of rover thing to Mars. And you're seeing more and more about the colonization of Mars. You know, so it's so interesting how these trends cycle back around. And, you know, that's kind of exciting.
yeah, honestly, I recently watched a movie. It's called Interstellar. Have you
Oh,
seen it?
yeah. Yeah, I've seen that.
So the thing about that is like colonization, looking for another planet because like our resources were dwindling and
And
um,
time.
right.
Time was a big part of that movie, right?
Yeah, so it was about space time and things like that. And so I guess the takeaway message is that I think eventually they create like a space station to maintain like a form of humanity. But really, the scientists knew that, you know, maybe life couldn't exist off of the planet. And it was about like everything comes from within through different dimensions,
Right,
as opposed to like, you know, going to a different physical location.
right.
Um, we can all have the ability to work within ourselves through our higher states of consciousness.
Exactly. Well
So,
said. Bravo. You said it
yay!
perfectly.
Okay.
Yes. And that is the thing about setting boundaries is that you are reflecting inward to get to your highest state of consciousness. You're not looking at anyone outward to do that for you, or it's somewhat of a solo journey to figure that out, you know. And hi, Luna.
Say hello.
My
Hello.
dogs sure did like their toys.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully they didn't tear it up yet.
And the lady that got that little pink jacket was just thrilled.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
good. Yeah. Well, I'm glad she liked it.
yeah, it was perfect.
Oh, good, good.
Luna is really maturing.
She really has. She used to be like barky and needy, but now she kind of knows that she's not going to get what she wants all the time, and she's aware. But that doesn't stop her from trying.
Um, her features of her head and everything. She's filled out and just looks more adult dog.
Hmm. Yeah, she's getting there. Um, I think most of her like baby like tendencies have she's grown out of, and
So
she
she
is.
was a year old in August.
Hmm. Yeah, July 21st.
July.
Yeah.
So she's a little Cancerian. I wonder if she'll be more wild today.
Well, I kind of locked her up. Then my son kind of let her out, and so that's why she's here
Yeah,
earlier than normal. But like she's so cuddly and wants affection and attention, and so yeah. But she's less, I guess, needy about it because she knows
yeah.
what she's going to receive.
That's so fun.
Yeah. But yeah.
Nice.
Mhm.
So you want to pull some cards for each sign?
Yeah, sure. Let's do it. Right
I
here.
brought out Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas tarot deck.
Yeah, and I love that deck because the artwork looks nice.
The artwork is Tim Burton, and he is, didn't he do Beetlejuice? And
Yeah, Edward Scissorhands.
yeah,
Yeah. So,
interesting man.
yeah, and so I have a Christmas love oracle.
All right. I'm sorry if I'm yawning. I've been really lazy for like 2 days. It's been cloudy and rainy and just very low key.
No, you're fine. It's been rainy, but as you can see behind me, it's a sunny day, but it's still wet outside.
Yeah.
So it's been crappy too over here on this side.
Well, they said it was going to rain all day today, but it's just sprinkled and been cloudy. We really haven't gotten any significant rain, but it's
Mhm.
still early.
Yeah. Yeah, it's early, so earlier than how we normally do it, right? Like on
Yeah.
our normal Friday nights.
Yeah, we are on a Tuesday,
Yeah.
a full moon in Cancer, and it's sitting right on top of my Venus.
So how are you feeling?
I was just trying to evaluate that. Now, typically, I would say I should feel bloated and be eating a lot, but I'm not doing either.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Um, I ate really well over the weekend to the point where I just didn't want to eat for a couple of days because I had too much rich food at one time.
Uh-huh.
Well,
Well,
I say over the weekend. That was Sunday night. So, yeah, I had a very rich dinner Sunday night with a friend for Christmas Eve. And I ate so much, I just haven't wanted to even see food. But
oh.
um, it was good at the time, but now I've just been drinking water. It's weird. Another
Oh,
friend of mine gave me a huge bag of oranges and grapefruits and another bag of apples. And they're sitting down there in my kitchen. I'm trying to figure out, I don't have a juicer. I need a juicer.
oh, I have one.
I need to figure out what to do with all of these oranges so they won't spoil.
Hmm.
Apples, my mother used to take apples and peel them and put them in the crock pot with like cinnamon and cloves and make like a kind of a homemade apple butter.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So I can do that with the apples, but I mean, I'm ready to just start giving oranges away because there's no way I'm going to get through them before they get, they get kind of mealy. They get too old.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I have a beautiful message for Aries.
You do.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for loving me.
So 5 of presents is 5 of pentacles.
So maybe Aries, maybe you guys feel kind of left out, but thankful, like maybe getting that sentimental feeling that and appreciative of maybe someone that used to be in your life. Um, Kind of like nostalgic almost. Thank you
Yeah.
for loving me. Um, I
What's
almost
that
feel,
saying? It's better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all.
uh-huh. Yeah, so maybe Aries, you've been feeling it this holiday season. Hmm. That's the feeling I'm getting with that.
And I would think money's okay. Five of Pentacles, there might be a change in money.
Mm-hmm.
I
Well, I
also was thinking if you didn't get what you wanted for Christmas, go get it for yourself.
oh yeah, I mean I do that all the time. So yeah, okay.
You know what I did? I did get some gift cards from work or whatever. I spent it on my dogs. I went on
Oh, did you?
chewy.com and just like stocked up on their foods and those probiotic things, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like I spent a small fortune on my dog's supplies.
No, I mean that's actually a good thing.
Yeah, they need it, but it
Mhm.
wasn't really for me. I haven't done anything for me.
Well, you still have time to
Yeah.
do it. Yeah, yeah.
I keep thinking I'm going to get a manicure and pedicure, but it just hasn't worked out.
You know, I've been thinking the same thing too, but I might do it. But next month, I got a couple things planned, like getting my hair done, getting a massage,
Yeah.
and maybe I'll get a manicure and pedicure around that time. But I need it because like I have some nails that are kind of missing, and like,
Shows how hard you've been working.
they look like working hands. I don't know. Like I need to get something done. So whatever.
The last time I did them myself.
Oh, let me see. Yeah, they look good.
It's kind of a,
Like a champagne.
yeah.
Yeah, I like
So
it.
here's the story. I was at an estate sale and I found these Oscar de la Renta clip on earrings that were white flowers and they were gorgeous.
Ooh.
But one of them had a broken petal. So,
Oh.
I mean, they're probably from the 60s and they wanted $10 for them, which for a broken pair is a little much. So when I got to the lady, I was like, "Look, this is broken." She goes, "Oh, I didn't realize that. How about $2?"
Oh.
So then I was telling a lady at work who's very crafty about them. She said, "Bring them in, and I'm going to bring in this clay that she has." Well, I tell you what, she formed a petal perfectly to match, right? Perfect. It was amazing how she just sat there with her little toothpick thing and made that petal to match all the rest. Well, then we had to figure out what how to paint it. And these they were kind of a pearly white. So this is the fingernail polish that I painted the petal to fix the earring. So
Oh.
when I fixed the earring, I went ahead and painted my nails.
And now everything matches.
Yeah, well, I actually thought about wearing those earrings a little while ago, and then I didn't. But yeah, it brought them back to life. They're a real pretty piece of art from a long time ago. In
Well,
my
you never know that they might be worth more than the $2 that you paid for. I mean, granted, like there was a broken paddle, but still.
yeah, you can see that you can if you compare the two to each other, you can see the difference. But still, I get to wear them, and this was the color that I used to match it up.
Mhm. Mhm.
So
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I don't do that very often.
Sometimes I do fix my jewelry because like some of it breaks for
Yeah,
whatever reason, and luckily I have tools, for jewelry, to fix like certain things like that. So,
I was thinking I generally don't paint my fingernails.
mhm. Well, I need something because they they ugly.
They just look natural.
Oh, they're natural, but they're dingy, and like my hands look wrinkly now. I
This grapefruit that they gave me, one time I was in a salon and the manicurist had my hands over this bowl, and she was using a mixture of oil and fresh grapefruit.
Oh.
There's that hydraulic acid in grapefruit.
Mhm. Mhm.
My gosh, my hands were soft for days after that. So I thought about using some of these grapefruit on my hands.
Oh yeah, that would be a good idea.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
very,
I mean, I was thinking about quinine, but then like, how do you keep quinine?
yeah,
Freezing it for how long? How
right.
long is that gonna last? And how often you
That's a
gonna?
great idea too. I could make a batch. Yeah, because I have some
Mhm.
lemons too.
Mhm.
A lot of citrus fruit laying around here.
I just for lemons before they go bad, I freeze them up because I drink lemon water in the mornings. So like I'll boil some water and put some salt in my cup. I'll put like maybe a quarter cup of the boiled water and the rest like room temperature water. And then I drop in like a frozen lemon.
Yeah,
And that's my morning daily
that
tonic.
sounds good.
Hmm. Yeah, it's
So when
like
you freeze the lemon, is it just the juice or do you put any
the
of
whole damn thing. Like I just cut it up. Like,
okay,
kind of like a restaurant, like you cut it into little cubes or
wedges?
slices, and
I have
then
never frozen lemon that way.
oh yeah, hmm
That's a
and
good idea.
it lasts forever. And so if you want like sweet tea or just water, lemon water, or anything that requires lemon,
Yeah,
you just take it out the freezer and it's still fresh, like when the frost is, you know.
that is a great idea.
Hmm. Yeah. Anyway, for Taurus, I have oh shit, disaster.
This is Six of Swords.
Oh shit, what the?
Taurus. Well, let's see. Taurus has that Jupiter Uranus conjunction. It's already coming close. I mean, it's in April exact, but we're already feeling it. So Taurus could be feeling some tension for sure.
Honestly, when I looked at this, it looks like a bank safe, maybe like their money, their financial situation, like had like a unplanned hit to their bank account. I don't know.
And this looks like someone who cuts on themselves.
Okay, so maybe you have personal issues, Taurus, like somebody in your family isn't doing well. Yeah.
I
Hmm.
would say definitely changes for Taurus.
Yeah, I really feel like very heavy, somewhat heavy energy going on. But it's temporary. Everything is temporary.
That's for sure. Thank
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah, don't worry about it, Taurus. You'll get over it. There's a new year coming around.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Gemini.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, look at this. Gemini. A call from your beloved.
Oh, ring a ling a ling. And I have the Knight of Swords.
Okay. Um,
I think somebody wants a booty call.
well yeah. Um, so a quick phone call from your beloved. Ooh la la, Gemini.
He's
Look
got
at that.
kind of a devilish little grin on him, doesn't he?
Yeah, I was like, hello. Ring a ling ling.
Yeah.
What's this? What's that ring a ling ling?
I'm thinking of the disco song, Ring My Bell, Ring My
Ring my bell.
Bell, My Bell.
So you're gonna get a phone call, Gemini. Lucky you.
Maybe two. It's
Well,
always in duality.
no, Gemini. What are you up to?
Busy, busy.
Just kidding. Okay.
Things have been slow with Mercury retrograde, and now they're going to start to heat up.
Well, let's see here. Ooh, well, Cancer. This looks promising. We have playful energy with a heart.
I have 5 of Swords.
Okay, so, so stressed over being playful?
This almost makes me feel facing your fears to be like facing your fears to get them out of the way so you can be playful with your beloved or something.
Right, like maybe holding on to an energy when really you should be creative and let go and just be playful. Um,
Yes, this full moon is good for, just letting go of emotional guck.
hmm Well, I see the peppermint candies, maybe like, with the stomach, if it feels a little
Yes.
unsettled, like maybe suck on a candy cane.
Yes. And get rid of the boogeyman. It looks like the boogeyman in this card.
I know.
He's an awful looking guy.
Um, It'll be
Face
all
your fears, Cancer.
yeah, it'll be all right.
Yeah.
So next we have Leo.
Okay.
Oh, well, Leo.
Full moon. What does that say?
Making love by the fireplace.
Oh, that sounds like a plan. Let's see. This says Page of Cups. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, Leo.
Emotional tell all.
Well, what is that with your card? Is that like a bottle or something? Like,
Yeah, it's supposed to be a potion. Maybe it's love potion number 9.
yeah, look at that sexy red lingerie
Yeah.
with that man back there. Like,
That
what?
sort of encourages me to get the clutter away from my fireplace.
Yeah, move out the way. Like, I
Yeah.
actually have like this whole thing blocking my fireplace.
Well, that's where I had set up a table to do Christmas stuff, and I was looking at it today. I was like, I need to clean that up so I can have a fire in the fireplace.
Yeah, it's time to clean out that chimney.
Love potion number 9.
hmm So that's pretty good, Leo.
Yeah.
So next we have Virgo. I'm sorry.
What is it?
Full
Oh,
of ho ho ho's.
and this is the magician,
Oh, okay. Ho ho ho.
full of ho ho ho's.
Oh yeah, like how many ho hos do you have, Virgo? And I'm not talking about the chocolate cake. Oh, it's in your pocket too. Like,
Yeah. Are you just happy to see me, or is that a ho ho?
yeah, there's a bunch of tricks in the bag over there.
Yeah. Pull out your tricks, magician.
Mm,
Well,
okay,
it typically
Santa.
is all about having all the tools you need to accomplish or manifest whatever you want.
Well, do you see this? Santa is
Coming
coming
out
out
of
of
the
the
pan.
zipper area. I thought it was the pocket.
It's no, it's the ho ho ho.
Yeah. So Virgo, I mean, I don't know what you're up to, but just I mean, if you're into that, no holiday for you.
Yeah.
But be careful. And by the looks of it, it might be more than one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not? All right. Next, we have Libra. Oh, are you picking a card, Luna? Which one you want? This one? Okay.
I got the hermit.
I drink to be merry. Oh, that sounds.
Oh, don't
Uh,
drink alone though, Libra.
yeah, that sounds depressing. What's that? Whiskey? uh, I drink to be merry. So
No.
Libra, maybe you didn't have a Merry Christmas.
Well, the one Libra that I know had a great Christmas. She was around her favorite parts of family and everything went well.
Mm-hmm.
I know Libra hates to be alone on the holidays.
So maybe this is surface, like surface level things were gravy, but maybe there was something that came up that they're holding to themselves and they're keeping it in their thoughts. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? It's like they can be happy with their favorite friends and family, but there must be some kind of trigger is what I'm feeling.
something secret.
Yeah, secret that they're holding to themselves.
My Libra friend worries about so many things, and she's already worried about what are they going to do next year.
Well, that could be the thing. It could be
You
as
know, and it's like,
simple as
could
that.
we just get through this year first?
Yeah, we're not done yet. We still got like a week or so left. Okay, so next we have Scorpio. Hmm. Okay, Scorpio. Incoming happy message.
The devil.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's from a Capricorn. Something. Sneaky. Hmm.
Again, I get facing your fears. This boogeyman just reminds me of a monster facing your fears.
So maybe this message is triggering for Scorpio, and you don't know how to take it. It's like is this like what is this message coming in? Like you don't know if it's
To trust it or not.
yeah. Hmm. Interesting. So that's possibly something to think about around this time. Just saying.
Yeah.
It'll be all right. We'll figure it all out by the new year.
Yeah.
So next we have Sag. Oh, Saggy.
What does
I
that
want.
say?
It says, "I want you to my." I can't read. Oh, I want you in my arms this Christmas.
This is Nine of Pentacles. I want you in my arms this Christmas with lots of prezzies.
Okay, well that sounds good.
Yeah.
So, I mean that's a big shift from the Saggies that I know.
Yeah.
But there must be someone special that you really wanted to spend Christmas with, um, and you wanted to shower them with gifts. Is another thing I'm also getting. So there is someone special that maybe you did physically, but if not, you really wanted to. Is what I'm getting. And maybe this could be from the other person.
Yeah. And there's abundance of it.
Yeah, there's a lot. So I mean, that's a good sign, Sag, whoever that
Yeah.
person is. So, all right, next we have Capricorn.
Those hard working goats.
Yeah, no. Well, we have celebration of love.
Page of Swords.
Okay, so maybe some kind of communication of wanting to celebrate with a particular loved one.
Someone younger.
Mm-hmm. Um, I'm trying to figure
Maybe,
out like, what is.
maybe take time off from work to enjoy recreation.
I was about to say, I'm definitely taking a week off,
Okay.
but when the new year hits, it is nose to the grind. Like I'm gonna go full on and work my normal 12-hour shift.
Yeah.
I at least I think I am. Um, so that's my plan for the new year. So yeah, celebrate now and
Yeah.
enjoy.
So taking this week off.
Well, until the first, until like the second or third. So yeah, another week. I'm just gonna
Nice.
sleep in. I'm gonna like soak it up
Yeah.
because after that, I'm gonna force myself to wake up early in the morning and work like I normally do. Concentrate on my business. I'm going to pass it over to my programmer. Um, so there's a lot of shift in my business,
Yeah.
and also preparing for what's to come in the coming months, as you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of change, and also like maybe give back to the channel and do a few more videos before I won't be able to provide as much around this time. Just so. But yeah, I have plans.
Yeah.
Oh,
Aquarius.
so I have a lot has changed since last Christmas.
And this is Seven of Swords.
Hmm. So definitely, maybe from last year to this year, there's a big shift. Um, Maybe this is about like I don't know, conflict.
Definitely feels uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm. It feels almost kind of challenging, also.
Well, Aquarius is going to have a lot of this Pluto Uranus energy going on, which is all about rearranging and changing and breaking out of their mold and finding a newfound freedom and expression. And that can be difficult sometimes.
Mm-hmm. And I'm also getting that this could be a reflective energy. So, like, maybe thinking about what happened between from the whole year.
Yeah.
A lot of things have changed, and so yeah, I just really feel like maybe like going back and thinking about it.
Something needling their brain.
Like in their mind. So yeah, whatever it is, work it out, and all will be well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So now we have Pisces. Okay, honey. Urgh. Which one? Pick one. Pick one, honey. Pick. What card?
I got the moon for Pisces.
Oh man.
Very psychic.
I am crying, upset, and having a fit. Lonely. What the heck?
That's very Cancer full moon.
Yeah, this is like wow. Luna.
So Pisces might be feeling a little emotional.
Mm-hmm.
Could be absorbing what they feel from other people's emotions.
All right. Because they're like the psychic sponge, so to speak. Um, Feeling everyone
Yeah.
um empathically. I talked to my brother, he's a Pisces on Christmas, and he was just like, Merry Christmas. I was like, okay, like, are you okay? He's like,
Is
yeah.
his second baby here yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
So my family, my mom and my dad, they're back from Korea. They're down in Arizona,
Oh.
and yeah, they're helping watch the new baby.
Oh.
Um, and so my brother is just taking time off for himself. Not really worrying about doing the dishes or getting groceries. He's just like laying low. But he sounds like exhausted and like kind of Scrooge-ish. Like,
Yeah. Is
you
he
know,
getting sleep? You
huh?
think? You think he's getting some good rest and sleep?
No. Mm-mm. No, because he works at the hospital. And so he works with these long shifts. And
Right.
so when I was talking to him, he just got done with a 12-hour shift and he was sounding kind of like
Right.
out of it and not really festive. And I told him, I said, Merry Christmas. He said, yeah, Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, okay.
It's
Where's
exhausted.
mom and dad? I can tell this conversation is over.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, he was kind of in a mood. Um, and he does get how do I say this? Not really crying, but emotional. He's very emotional. But I can tell when he's upset, he gets a little quiet and
My dad was a Pisces and he would get very quiet when he
mhm,
was
when
upset.
he's in a
Yeah.
mood.
Yeah. And he liked taking like a highball glass with a couple of ice cubes and a splash of whiskey. And he'd just sit in his chair and sip on his whiskey.
Yeah, my brother has alcohol too. Whenever he's, I'm a drink. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, well, you go ahead and drink, okay? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. So, but yeah, he was just in a mood. And I was like, okay, well,
I think a lot of people have been a little lackluster. It's come very quick, it seems, this year.
yeah. So normally it's like very like you get like the Christmas music, you get like the vibe. For me, it was more like a thing, not really being in the spirit of the holiday season. You know.
And a lot of people, unfortunately, have gone through layoffs. And, what worse time to lose your job than here at Christmas when there's all these expectations of all that decorating and everything takes a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. Decorating and
La 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 la.
yeah, bah humbug. Like the thing is, like, you gotta make the most out of it. And I know some people they're not religious per se, but they do, I guess, celebrate the holiday. So yeah, I guess make the most out of it.
I think one of the prevailing consistent feelings I have every this time every year is sort of annoyed that everybody saves up all that kindness and generosity for the last few weeks of the year and not spread it out through the whole year. You know,
Hmm.
the spirit of Christmas is like we were talking about earlier, being there in your community, helping your neighbor, helping those in need. And that should be all year round, not just the last 2 weeks of the year. So there's a somewhat of a hypocrisy, I guess, that annoys people that just like family members that get together to eat that don't see each other the rest of the year. You know, I don't know. I was thinking about my neighbors and what would I take them for Christmas, but I take stuff to them all the time.
I felt the same thing too. It's like my kids they always have what they needed throughout the whole year.
Right,
What else do I need to really gift them that is like a gift?
right.
Christmas. So it wasn't like
Really
oh
just spending time together.
well they're boys so they don't need them a whole lot. They just want to eat. So I made them. Then my oldest son he kind of helped out cook the rest of the side dishes and stuff. So yeah, everyone took a turn at like the normal stuff that we do on a daily basis. And
I
so
think that's how it should be, is as normal as possible. Because there was some study I read years ago about how in January people get this like post holiday, blues or something because they've been so busy, and then everything drops off. And it's like, well, if you try to stay consistent all year, then the whole Scorpio theme is everything in moderation and nothing too extreme. And I
mhm.
think that's what the holiday should be, is moderation. And if you are religious and want to emulate the teachings of Christ, it would be that you are giving and helpful all year round, not just for a couple of weeks in December.
Yeah, I was also like listening to like a video from an anthropologist, like who came up with the birth of Christ on December 25th when um
The
there
tax man.
yeah, when clearly it's like in like some like depictions that there's like spring, it's like a spring energy. You don't see snow or like whatever. It's like it's just a whole different scenery from what I've seen on this video. Now I don't know because I'm not like researching for myself,
Right.
the facts, but there is some question as to why. You
So I
know.
heard something kind of interesting on that because I feel the same way. Historians have said that Christ was really born more like mid September.
Hmm.
Um, with the taxes and census and the authorities of the time, they set the date, and that was to help retail industry and
To
people,
give them an extra couple of months for the big push.
yeah, get all the money in they could for the year. And anyway, so I get kind of annoyed that it's not authentic, really. But I went to a concert last weekend. It was the 16th, whenever that was. And one of the men in the group said, I don't care whether you believe it's really Christ's birthday or not. We're here to celebrate, and that's what we're going to do. So then I thought, well, that's true. It doesn't have to be historically correct, but it is traditionally the time of year that we do celebrate. I,
Hmm.
I can go with that.
Yeah.
It makes sense to
Well,
do.
I think everything is timed for certain reasons, and whatever. And I think that Christmas became an official holiday globally in the early 1900s. Like this is like a recent
Yeah,
thing. Like, and that actually that's when it became more commercialized, from what I know.
yeah. And so that's why, again, the more you can just keep your behaviors and routine moderate January through December, the less of that emotional drop you might feel, because,
Well, I can say I'm a Capricorn and my birthday's in January.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm used to it. Like, it's cool.
I hope you get your present tomorrow. It says you're supposed to get it tomorrow.
Okay, well, once I do, I'll definitely let you know. Yeah.
Your birthday present's in there.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you for the early birthday gifts.
Yes. My old college roommate's birthday is today, now that I think about it. And it was always, celebrating Christmas and birthday at the same time.
Hmm. Yeah, one of my followers, her birthday is on Christmas. Um, so yeah, so she always tells me like it kind of sucks, having a birthday on Christmas Day. But she seems to be in good spirits. So.
That's not as bad as having it on leap year, right?
Right, well, yeah, we skip a birthday.
Yeah.
Well, at least they're young. They're
Yeah.
young, right? Unless they count like the day before. That's when they actually have their birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks. So yeah. So does anyone have like any questions for Sunny?
So I see Ms. Rack's talking about general reading. We did that very beginning. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
but
I mean, if she's Mizrak, if you're talking about the general collective reading that I normally do, I will do that separately. I won't do it in this live, but I will go live again, maybe today at some point. Um, Divine Union, you're guilty for those Pisces vibes. Oh yeah, she's been moody and emotional. Yeah, it'll be okay. You know, cry it out like what Sunny said earlier. It's kind of healing.
It is.
And then release and let go. And then you have no more tears left.
And then use some those eye mask patch things to get rid of the puffiness.
Oh yeah. You know, I was actually commissioned to work on like a lavender eye patch, which
Oh,
I
neat.
didn't know existed. But yeah, there's a thing and it helps like soothe and it's more aromatherapeutic for the
Nice.
eyes and it's like a weighted thing.
Oh,
So it
nice.
pushes, I guess the thing is that it pushes your bags back in. I don't know. But yeah, I didn't know there was a thing. But yeah, there is a thing like that.
Interesting.
Hmm.
I meant to bring the little owner's manual up here. I bought a compression stretching mat. It's a mat that you lay on, and you can have these different programs, and it stretches you in different ways. It helps your spine
Oh.
stretch.
Uh-huh.
And it like inflates these different pillows throughout this mat.
Oh.
And yeah, so I probably lied when I said I didn't get myself anything yet. I guess, but I got that about a month ago. So a
Oh,
friend of
okay.
mine had gotten it, and if you've ever had any trouble with
Back.
sciatic nerve, yeah, it really, really targets your hips and back like that. And so, yeah, anything pampering and therapeutic would be good to do these days.
Yeah, that sounds nice. I mean, right now my back hurts. You know, I could probably benefit from that. But what I'm gonna do is I have like a roller, and I'm just gonna roll myself out like
Or
a
a hot
freaking
shower.
villain.
I always like a hot shower if my back is hurting.
Mhm. Mhm.
You're very welcome, Divine Union. I hope that people glean some foresight or insight into the next few months. And it's going to be an interesting ride.
Yeah.
But just keep
So,
in mind that this isn't anything that any generation has never faced before. This is all, the more things change, the more they stay the same. There's no reason to panic or freak out. It's all in divine order. And we chose to be here during these times. And to me, that's comforting to know that on some level we chose to be here to get through these structural humanitarian changes.
um, I don't know
Maybe
what to say about that, but yeah.
I go back to work tomorrow. I took a few days off. So yeah.
Just long as you know, like after the live, get back on the mat,
Yeah,
play with the doggies, and um, just take what you say, like what you were doing, like just not doing nothing, and
it
just
has been one lazy weekend for sure.
mhm. Yeah, I've been pretty lazy myself, and being a Capricorn, um, I don't get lazy, but I let myself
Right.
go. Like,
Every once in a while, you got to just unplug and
mhm.
decompress and rejuvenate.
Yeah. Well, I know that I told my programmer Wednesday I'll get back into it. So I'm allowing myself one extra day. So
Yeah,
like, I mean, I said that, maybe I'll do like the general reading today, but I might do it tomorrow. I don't know. It just really depends.
no pressure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no pressure. Yeah, because Luna, she's like, I need some lemons.
I know. My dogs keep me from doing a lot because I just want to hang out with them. And when I start doing something, they want to be right in the middle of it. And
Then you
Just,
look at them, you're like, okay, well, fine, you
yeah,
win.
we're just going to sit down.
Yeah. Right, Luna?
She's so cute.
She is. Luna, she said you're cute.
It'll all be okay. It's all good.
Mm-hmm.
Exciting times.
Yeah,
Just keep your vision in your mind's eye of how you want your life to be. That will manifest.
definitely.
You don't want to manifest fear, for sure.
Let go of fear. Fear is an illusion. And embrace love and creativity.
Yeah, that's the spot.
Yeah. She'll make this sound like
Eh,
right? She's like, what in the world, lady? She can call me out.
she's looking at you with loving eyes.
Yeah. But she sometimes I think she like gets bored. Do your dogs look at you like that? Like, come on, lady, you're not playing with me.
Sometimes I think they come to me to say, "Can we go out now? Can we go for a walk?"
Yeah, like this look right here. She's like,
Or
go out
during
for a
the walk,
walk.
they look up at me like, "Where are we going to go now? Where are we going to go now?"
Mm-hmm. See, I think she's very humanistic with her expressions. You,
Yeah,
you want to go for a walk?
sorta.
Or you want to stay home? You want to stay inside? She's like, inside? I've been in here the whole time.
Say, I want to go anywhere you're going.
All right. Well,
All right, then. Well, we probably slayed a few dragons, and
mhm.
we'll have a big full moon for a couple of days here. Might be a little emotional, but just let the tears flow, and I'll be all right.
Sounds good. Yeah. So if anybody would like to book a reading, it's the new year. And
Yeah,
if you want to know what's going on in 2024, now is a perfect time to book a reading with Sunny, lionmountainhealing.com. And yeah, get some insight and see what the new year brings.
happy to do it. And
Hmm.
let's see, we have, I think, a Capricorn new moon on the 11th of January.
Oh, interesting. Okay, well, what day is that? Friday? Is
The
that Friday?
11th of January is,
Oh, it's a Monday.
it's a Thursday.
Thursday. Oh, I'm looking at December. Okay, hold on. It's Thursday. So what do you want to do this time? Do you want to do it on Thursday or Friday?
It's up to you. What works best for you?
Hmm. Well, I am open now.
I would say Friday.
You want to do Friday?
Yeah, Friday nights are kind of fun to do something like this, don't you think?
Yeah, we can do Friday. So Friday usual time.
12th, Friday the 12th. Whoops, not Saturday. Friday the 12th. And we do like 6 and 9, I think.
Mm-hmm. We can do that. Or if you want to do it earlier, we can also do it earlier. But it's up to you.
So 5 and 8.
We can do 5 and 8.
All righty. Got it down.
Okay. Well, we'll see you
No,
guys on the 12th
that
around 5
sounds good.
5 p.m. Pacific and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and wherever else you are in the world.
Yeah, adjust accordingly.
Yes.
And
All
I'll
right.
get some more of those historic cycles together too. I got us through spring anyway today.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you. Thank
It
you.
is a lot to take in.
Yeah,
It
thank
can
you.
be a little overwhelming.
Yeah, thank you for all that you do and all the wealth of knowledge that you share.
Well, thank you.
And we just appreciate you. Um, and so much more.
Well, good. And I hope your package arrives tomorrow, and we'll catch up soon.
Okay. All right. Well, um, I guess Merry Christmas to those who celebrate. If not, Happy Holidays and Happy New Year.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next
Gonna
year.
be a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
All righty.
All right.
Signing out.
Okay.
See ya.
All right. Bye. All right, guys. So, I will actually go live again, but this time this is about like the twin flame collective energies, and I will do that maybe today, if not tomorrow. So we'll see. We'll see where my energy is at. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. All right, bye-bye.